On and off the court, Visionary Basketball Group delivers programs that empower players with skills for athletic and personal success. Our players undergo learning experiences that position them for positive lifelong achievement on and off the court. With a year-round training philosophy, BBG can assist you in reaching your full potential as a player with conditioning, basketball fundamentals, position-specific training, and skills and drills taught by the best coaches in New England. For more information, visit our website at visionarybasketball.com or drop into our new athletic performance center located at 152 Tremont Street, Melrose, Mass. VBG, complete your vision.
Welcome to tonight's sports conversation, and it's no ordinary show. We have two outstanding guests tonight, Anthony Taylor of VBG and Wayne Turner, former Celtic, Kentucky Wildcat, and one of the great players ever in Massachusetts high school basketball from the immortal Beaver Country Day School, I believe. I think I saw his name on a poster up there once.
And Anthony
Welcome,
Taylor
guys.
from North Cambridge Catholic.
Absolutely.
Both of these players, I think you both led the state in scoring your senior year. I know you did, and I know you did 2 years in a row, didn't you?
Yeah.
So welcome, guys. Obviously, it's March Madness, exciting time for all basketball fans. Wayne, could you tell us about your NCAA experience?
Well, from what I learned about March Madness, the tournament's just it's another season, after the regular season, and it's just a bunch of excitement, and everybody's pretty much 0-0, 0 in the win columns, 0 in the losing column. So everybody starts off fresh, and it's just like a new season. But only, when you lose, you're done. So very, very exciting atmosphere. Definitely enjoyed all 4 of my years playing with Kentucky in the tournament and, learned a lot from it.
Who'd you play for when you were at Kentucky? What coach?
I played under Pitino for 2 years, Rick Pitino, and I played under Tubby Smith for my last 2 years.
So you won it with Tubby. Did you win it with both?
I won it with Rick 96, and I won with Tubby in 98.
Wow.
Do you have any special
I like to mention we did go back to the national championship game in 97, but unfortunately we lost to Arizona in overtime. But people forget that. And we weren't really picked to go to the Final Four because we lost a great player in Derek Anderson. But, we overcame that adversity that a lot of people were doubting us about, and we ended up getting there, and we were really close. Arizona was tough. They had, great players in Mike Bibby and Miles Simon, and, they were the better team that night.
My son went up to Rupp Arena to a regular season game, Kentucky and Alabama this year, and he said it was the greatest experience he's ever had as a fan to go there for a SEC game.
I mean, our fans are they're like second to none. I mean, they're everywhere, and I didn't realize that until we started getting in tournament play. Like the SEC tournament was one of the, main tournaments that I, saw that, wow, our fans are really everywhere, and they're not just coming from Kentucky. They're in Atlanta, they're in South Carolina, they're in North Carolina. So, the Kentucky fan base is definitely, about the loyalty and just commitment and dedication. And I haven't seen any fan base like it.
Did you play against Louisville during your 4 seasons?
Played against Louisville all 4 seasons. Unfortunately, I'm 2-2 with them. We lost my junior year and my senior year. We lost to them down there. But, Louisville's just one of those games where it's almost like a state championship for us. And, there's a bunch of UK fans that live in Louisville. There's a bunch of Louisville fans that live in Lexington, where UK is. So definitely one of those games you had to get up for, or if you wasn't ready, it could be a long night for you. But those battles just been going on, I can only imagine, long before I was born.
Now, how about this Saturday? What do you think, Kentucky and Louisville? I like Louisville. I always like the underdog, but Louisville, they change up their defense a lot. They're going to go with a matchup zone, then they'll go man-to-man, try to confuse Kentucky. You think it will work?
I think it may slow him down a little bit. I know playing under Coach Pitino, he definitely has, a strategic philosophy that's probably already carved out for that Kentucky team. I know he sees some flashes of our '96 team with that team. And it's going to be a good game. Coach Cal's a great coach. I know these guys have coached against each other pretty much, all their careers coaching. And I know, Coach Cal, is on cue too. He definitely knows and has an idea of what, Rick Pitino's going to do as far as trying to, slow them down and win the game. But it's going to be a great game. I wish I could have been there, but I'm definitely going to be watching, and I'm cheering for the Big Blue. That's for sure.
Now, AT, you explained that you have experience with Coach Thad Matta. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it was Thad was at Miami of Ohio. He was one of the intern coaches that recruited me at Miami of Ohio, and I was actually with Thad last Wednesday at his practice, and it was great to see him. He talked about it was exciting to come back to Boston because he has some family in there. And he basically said, "Hey, listen, I'm out here talking about you every time I come to Boston because I was one of the guys that recruited you." And it was great to see Thad Matta there, and also having the Kentucky relationship with Wayne there, now being in the Final Four. Back when I was in college, our team went to Sweet 16. We actually lost to Wayne.
That's a very good program, Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
People that don't know about them, but excellent basketball program.
Yeah, it was pretty good coaching staff. We had Thad Matta at Ohio State. We had Sean Miller, who's now at Arizona, and Herb Sendek was Rick Pitino's 8 years assistant there. So it was a great combination. And me and Wayne would go back with stories of what Herb would do and Rick would do. Pretty much, we had the same regiment preseason, the pregame, the aftergame, the scouting reports. It was all detailed, and it was just truly amazing to see the other level of basketball than what you go through at a youth level and high school level. And I've learned a lot, from those coaches, and then everything that we've learned at that level now we're transcending it down to the youth through the coaching, the training, the mentoring. Educating the parents and the players on just little stuff about basketball development, and overall it was a great life experience, and now doing what we're doing at Visionary Basketball, that's what we're translating through the youth through what we do with VBG.
Now, when he recruited you, how many times did he come to Massachusetts?
It was actually I was at a military prep school. So I was at a military prep school in Chatham, Virginia, and interesting story is that Torrey Holt, who plays in the NFL,
right,
he went to high school with Allen Iverson. So he was also a big-time high school basketball player. And they actually came down to recruit Torrey Holt at Chatham, Virginia. And Torrey Holt was playing football and basketball at that time. And they came down, they liked him, but they liked what they saw with me. So I never really heard about Miami of Ohio. My last two choices was Georgetown and Temple. And when they came in, they flew me out to Miami of Ohio. I met Thad Matta, met Herb Sendek and Sean Miller, and I just fell in love with the school. The school's similar to they call it the Midwest of Harvard. Beautiful campus, education superb, and I'm really truly blessed to have that experience at Miami of Ohio. And then also going into the NCAA tournament too as well. It's a life lesson.
That's when they had their best teams when you played, right? Because they had
the
4 years in a row. They was real good.
Yeah,
they were
Wally's World.
Yeah,
It was actually Wally's World. We went to NCAA. I say 3 years, actually 4 years. One NIT. With Wayne mentioning Wally World, Wally Zerbiak. It was great to go to school with him. We actually had another guy that played in the NBA named Iron Newble. Interesting story with him was that he was a junior college transfer, and he never got any playing time his junior and senior year. He was just one of those players that was just very, very athletic, and the system that we have wasn't really for what he was. And then he went to the minor leagues a couple of years, and he finished off in the NBA for 9 years. He actually finished his career with the Lakers right before they won it. So it's pretty good and fortunate to have some guys that play in the NBA too as well. It was funny, last week I was watching Wally. He's a commentator for CBS. And so just having those memories is very, very
I
great.
remember those games. What a shooter he was.
Yeah.
Tough.
You were a great shooter, too.
Yeah, not like Wally. Wally was a shooter. You know, I always tell people there's different ways to shooters. There's shooters that spot up shooters and hit open shots. There's a different level of another shooter who's a shooter that can hit clutch shots. And Wally was definitely that guy who can hit clutch shots. And he was 6'8", so you know, usually at that size, 6'8" shooters, you don't really see those. They're more down low post players. So very, very smart player, and learned a lot. And it was just a great overall experience. And a lot of the players in our program are constantly coming up to us saying, "Hey, how was that experience? What is it like? I like my son and daughter to get to that level." So, and all we do is provide some structure and support, and the players, as you know, need to go out and execute on that. So it's truly a blessing to be a part of that experience.
Wayne, when you're coaching younger players, do you have any overarching themes or lessons for them? Not may just be basketball, but maybe outside of basketball too.
Well, usually and we touch on both of it. I know for me, growing up as a younger player, I really didn't have, you know, a mentor program, you know, like us, Visionary Basketball Group, where I could go to every day after school and, you know, maybe have someone tell me, okay, well, you know, school is more important than ball. You need to take care of your work before you hit the court. Where in our program, that's what we're stressing, you know, constantly every day. You know, when I'm coaching a younger kid, you know, I'm coaching him, you know, preparing him for his next level. So, you know, the question comes about, okay, well, why does he need to work on this? Well, he needs to work on this because sooner or later, he's going to be in the 6th grade. Now he's not playing against, you know, kids who are smaller than him. And then, before you know it, he's going to be in high school. So our middle school kids, we try to train them, you know, and get them in gear to be prepared for that next level. And, you know, for myself, and I know, you know, Anthony's probably, you know, went through it too when he was in high school, we really didn't have those steps planned out to take to where now, you know, we're planning out steps by steps, you know, for these kids to climb the ladder and reach their goals.
Our battle constantly is fighting turnovers, and the more I think about it, is it's not just mental. I think that the game's evolved so that the younger players, who are currently our players, don't know how to make one-handed push passes, pass off the dribble, things that, you know, how many I was watching the Celtics game last night. There's almost no chest passes anymore. You just don't see it. You know, when are you going to chest pass the ball into the post or whatever? It doesn't happen.
When the guy's taking it out of bounds.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So, you know, trying to get our players to pass effectively, to and cut effectively, of course, away from defenders, it's maddening.
Yeah, spacing is definitely stressed in all of our practices because I feel like, you know, with the younger kids, they feel like getting open is running straight to the ball. So right away we limit the dribbles and we tell them, you know, you got to make a certain amount of passes before you can actually score. And I think that, you know, makes them understand, you know, okay, it's not all about just dribbling a basketball all the time. If you can take, you know, make one move and get to the basket, you know, that's pretty good.
Well, we'll be commenting on the game. We'll say, you can just listen to the game and hear how much the ball's being dribbled. You know it's a terrible game.
But when I talk to Ron about, like, when he complains about the passing on our team, when we're playing teams that are fair to poor, I mean, we're unbelievable, just like any other team. When we play good teams, we're unbelievable. When we get up against the better teams that put the pressure on you, it's more mental than your passing abilities, because when we do our passing drills, their passes are always right on, but they're not doing passing drills with anyone on them in a you know, high-pitched game where they're going up against a tough team. Like, say we scrimmaged your team. You know, you sent a team down to play us, and it was a good up-tempo game. You know, but you know, when teams are playing that up-tempo game and they're real good defensively, you're going to turn the ball over more if you play the same way.
Yeah.
And it's just going to take playing those type of games to get you better and better, and then there'll be less turnovers.
Yeah.
But like what I tell Ron, and our drills, we make half-court, three-quarter passes. We do a drill, and the passes are always right on. But you get in the game, they try to drill it to the defensive player. So to me, it's more decision making under pressure.
Yeah.
What do you do in those? What type of drills do you do there?
Yeah, so that's really the genuine beauty about the program is that you have the skill training element that we teach, but then we also have the game situation stuff that we teach. So we do regular skill passes drills, and then we also do regular passing drills into game situations, and that's really how you really develop the closest thing to a game situation. And so with our experiences of what we've learned at the collegiate level and the professional level, it's amazing what you learn at the high school level, and it's amazing what you learn after. And we realized through all of our different tutelage that we got from coaches, we translate that into the different drills. But truly, it's the game situation drills that you need to apply after you get the skill down. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you just need to mentor it, and then execute in the game. And then right after you have the game situations going on, now you got to go back to practice and say, hey, this is what you did, this is what you did, this is what you did.
How much do you believe in faking a pass to make a pass? You hear that once in a while. We very rarely say that. Mm-hmm. We just want them to understand there are times they have to fake a pass to get the pressure away or whatever and to make the pass. But I hear coaches a lot of times say, high school coaches, fake a pass to make a pass. Do you ever coach that way? I mean, I'm not comfortable with that.
I feel like in the zone,
Yeah.
I think the ball fake against the zone is awesome because, the zone's always shifting and they're anticipating because there's only one guy standing over there that you're going to pass it to that guy. So I think faking the pass in the zone is good. I would say not targeting your pass would be a good advice to give them because sometimes, the kid's just looking right at the guy he's passing it to, then all of a sudden everybody else on defense is looking at that guy, and then they're just reading it right away. So what I tell, the players in our program is you're going to pass it to this guy, so you can't just stare at him and let his defender know that you're about to pass. You kind of got to look at him, know he's open, look away for a second, then boom.
Well,
get it to them.
I think our players against the zone, they forget that screens work against zones. Cutting works against zones. It's not like one of these hockey games where you stay in one position and turn.
Right, right.
Now, when our boys team played Brighton in the semifinals, Brighton went from a trap, 2-2-1 trap to a zone. And they did it, a well-coached team. I mean, they were unbelievable. But we had two real good players who were quick, like you two. Don't you think you can split that zone if you move the ball quick enough, split the two players as they're coming to you, get in the lane, and a good player is going to either hit the pull-up jump shot or dish off to a cutter. What do you think about that type of an offense, if you have the players to do it?
Yeah, once again, like you just said, it comes down to the athleticism that you have, the game situation where people, where the players are actually, if they're in the right position to execute that. From your Wayne's experience, you had at Kentucky, you had a lot of athletic guys.
Yeah, I just feel like you have to, not to cut you off, Anthony, I just feel like you have to drive the zone. You got to drive it, but that drive comes off ball reversal.
Right.
So you got to get it moving around the perimeter. Boom. Then no gap and open up. You just got to get in that gap.
We were saying that we were doing a game, the high school game against Brighton. We were saying that the whole game because Melrose has Adams and they have Sherlock, two real quick basketball players who can hit the pull-up jump shot and dish, and they were never doing it. They never. One time Adams did it from the baseline. He got in and scored, but the rest of the game they didn't do it. They weren't moving the ball. I mean, they didn't understand how to break it down, and Brighton played it so well that it really hurt them.
As very both experienced and successful players and coaches, if you could do one thing differently, if you could say, okay, I can go back and be 16 years old again, what change would you make to say, this would make me a better player?
You want to go first?
You can go.
Okay. Would love to work on, say, game situation drills. Did a lot of skill work, working on shooting and dribbling. Did a lot of competing, went to different locations to compete. But I would say integrate game situation drills. I relate to Wally Zerbiak. His dad is a former pro. Used to play with Julius Erving. He's the commissioner of the Italy Professional League, and when he came into Miami of Ohio, once again, when I mentioned about there's players that can shoot, but he was a player that can shoot in game situations and in high pressure situations. So looking back at my earlier development years, I would say game situation would be a huge thing I would definitely want to do if I had that back.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. But yeah, training for those game situations, but also trying to gather up some guys where we're coming in and just having like an extreme training session. I think we probably did that maybe once or twice our whole high school career where. If we would have been doing it like constantly.
So much more intensive personal training.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Breaking down the stuff that like we do with kids today. I feel like, we just didn't have it coming from every, direction and angle where now, it's all over the place. So would definitely would have liked to have, got some of that, everybody who's the best in the state in one gym. And let's just, go at it real hard. If I can go back and change something, I would definitely try to arrange something like that.
If I ask Coach Smith this question, who is the fastest point guard? Rajon Rondo or Wayne Turner? Who would he say?
Oh, without a question, he'd say Wayne Turner. Without a question.
I remember you were lightning on the court. I'll tell you, that was your game.
It was.
That was your game, getting to the hoop.
I would say I can't give into that one, but I would say he's a lot more athletic than I am now. I would say that. A lot athletic. I mean, watching him in college, I was just like, wow, this kid's a point guard. Unbelievable.
Well, it's been a great privilege to have Wayne and AT with us tonight, and we hope they can come join us again sometime. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
We look forward to see more of our players in your program, too.
Yes.